Alright, so Warframe. Here's all the different frames you can use. Each one has 4 different abilities, and it's pretty cool. So, Uriel, for example, basically catch everything on fire, heals himself and his demons, and also his demons do damage, and then they drop health and energy orbs. And then here's more demons, and then brimstone, which basically nukes the entire map depending on your range per se. You can kind of see it a little fiery every time somebody steps in there. It does 3,660 damage. Yeah. Oh. So then a whole bunch of different weapons. You got bows, you got beams, you got shotguns, flamethrower, another bow, another bow. Can you tell I like bows? Another bow, bow. Snipers, some more shotguns, pistols, just a whole bunch of different weapons. Some of them have different like abilities and alternate fires, which is pretty cool. Same thing with the secondary weapons. They all have different perks to each weapon. And same thing with the melee. You got fists, you got big old bat, uh, samurai swords, daggers, some of my favorite. And then go to companion. You can literally have different companions, different dogs, different cats, and then you can basically each pet has their own stuff that they do. Um, you can color it however you want to, but he has armor on. A mohawk. There you go, Malachi. That's for you right there. So, with that being said, let me put my shade back on. Alright. Alright, so here's your star chart. All of these planets have different missions and different things that you can do. So, if we go to Earth, for example, you have a defense mission, extermination. Now you can see the Grineer. There's a couple different factions, but the Grineer, that's level 1 through 3, and then they have something called Steel Path, which you won't get to for about a year. Um, just went from level 1 to 3 to level 101 and 103. But it also increases the resource drop, the mod drop chance, and a whole bunch of cool stuff that you can do. Um, so, that being said, let me show you some gameplay. So, we're going to put it on Steel Path. I'm going to Eris. We're going to do a defense mission. So your 3 main factions is Grineer, which is basically just Space Marines. Then you got Corpus, which are some. I don't like the Corpus. They're kind of lazy, but they're mostly magnetic. And then you got Infested. This guy's name is Noko. He's my mushroom guy. So the white numbers are non-crit. The orange number is a medium crit, and the red numbers is a high crit. So this guy is an incarnate weapon. So basically shoots clouds of toxic gas, and then it shoots a, well, and then it shoots a beam.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now?
So every 3 waves you can go up to wave 2000 if you wanted to. And this is basically the rewards. You get a bunch of different materials for missions. And now that I showed you that, we'll go over here to the foundry. And this is where you build all of your weapons and warframes. So you always have one frame, and then you'll have the prime version of that frame. So I don't have a lot of Atlas, but as you can see, Atlas, it takes 2 argon crystals, 1300 cryotic, 1800 nanospores, and 700 rubido, which I have 1 million rubido, 1 million nanospores, 20,000 cryotic, and no argon crystals. But missions in the void, that's where you get it. And then you have a whole bunch of stuff you can make and rank up. Form is really important, but you ain't gotta worry about that. So if you go to upgrade, here is all your different mods. As you can see, there's quite a bit of them. Like, quite a bit of them. So, duration, efficiency, range, strength. Those are your 4 main. And then obviously health, shield, armor, energy, and sprint speed. Nobody really mods for sprint speed. But corrosive, that's ore. Enemies lose 18% armor. Continuity, 55% ability duration. Abilities that inflict a toxin status effect will also apply a corrosive status effect. And corrosive makes them lose armor, which makes them easier to kill. 12% slide, 30% friction, 15% ability range, ability strength minus ability duration, prime flow, more energy, 44% ability strength, so we get more strength, range, range, and more strength. I mean, this guy's pretty beast. And then arcane, so on my kill, we get 60. If I kill up to 250 enemies, I get plus 60 ability strength. So that base, this basically goes from 230 to 298% ability strength, which is astronomically insane. And then you got the same thing for your weapons. You got a bunch of different mods. Most of these are really hard to get, but they're kind of easy to get if you know what you're doing, which that's pretty easy to get. And then right here, Sonic Core, I just got this one and I built it, and it's only ranked 9. Most weapons only go to rank 30, as you can see. But there's some specialty weapons that go up to rank 40. So more mods, you can mod it better. Pets, companions, foundry, more pets, arcane, well, rare, mods. And here are all the mods. Primed is really hard to get. These white ones are really, really hard to get. But as you can see, I've been playing for a very long time. And it's just mods, man. Mods upon mods upon mods, and each one does something different. So this is hammer shot. That's for a rifle, gives you 60% crit damage, 80% status chance. That's a stance for a weapon, 40% faster recovery knockdown, uh, plus 165% damage, but fine. Minus 55% accuracy, which is really good on some weapons. Like on beam weapons, you don't really need the accuracy for that. Multi shot, so 120% multi shot. So if your weapon only shoots one, it'll shoot 1.2 or 2.2 bullets at a time. And then you can always upgrade them. And it costs endo and credits. As you can see, endo credits. It's really easy to get. And then, I'm not going to show you that. I'm not going to show you that. I'm not going to show you that. There we go. So, Codex. If you go to Universe, it tells you everything that's in existence. So, mods. Right? I know it doesn't really show. There we go. So I don't have any of these mods. But these are all specific to certain warframes. So Oberon is warframe, and one of his ability is Smite, and they're called Augment. So Smite Augment, hold to cast will grant all allies within 15 meters an additional 50% radiation damage to their attacks for 28 seconds. So every time you use that ability, all of your teammates get 50% radiation damage to their weapons. Uh, as for Ash, let me show. Where's that? Yeah. Yep. So all the ones that are grayed out are I don't have. And as you can see, there is a lot of them. And then same thing for Warframes. These that little symbol that you see in the top right of each picture, that means you have mastered that Warframe. So basically, you got them up to rank 30, and you get mastery rank. As you can see on the top right by my name, it's 30, mastery rank 30. And I need 127,000 mastery rank. So, yeah, it's a lot. But these are all the Warframes you can get. So, like Limbo, Limbo Prime, Loki, Loki Prime. So the Prime variants have better stats starting off. So let's go with Loki Prime, Health 180, Shield 180. Go to Loki, 180, 180. Armor 105, Energy 175. 135 and 215. So they just have better stats overall. And those are all the Warframes. So I don't have her. She's tricky to get. He's also tricky to get. I don't want to talk about these two. These two are. I don't want to talk about that. And then weapons. So you got all your melee weapons, and this doesn't even cover half of the weapons in the game. This they haven't updated the codex in a very very long time. Primary weapons, secondary weapons. So as you can see, I still need all of these weapons. Like I said, you got different factions. You got Grenier, Corpus, Infestation. Those are basically animals working. They can be a mix between all three of the factions. Same thing with the sentients. Those are different. Stalker. Hmm. I'm not going to ruin that one. Nope. So, weapons, warframes, relics. I'm gonna go into the relics. Relics is how you get all the prime weapons, warframes, parts, everything. So, uh, let's see here. Go to warframe. I know I got a Caliban. There we go. So to make Caliban Prime, you need the Prime chassis, you need the neuroptics, and you need the systems, which is right here. So once you build the systems, which takes 12 hours, then you get to build the Prime, which takes 72 hours. So that's how you farm all their Prime parts. All of the regular frames, you can farm that through each planet has a boss, and each boss drops the blueprint for a frame. Where's this guy up? Right here. Assassination Jackal. I'm pretty sure you get Rhino from this guy, which is decent. He's a good frame. But anyway, yeah. Open world. Open world is pretty cool. You can do a bunch of stuff in there too. Like there is a lot of stuff to this game, and it's pretty neat. I enjoy it. Ooh, they gave me the Plasmor and Calvero. It's a wrap. Yeah. I'm not gonna talk about the operator. Not gonna talk about the railjack either. That's where they in the after action report, damage dealt, damage taken, total kills, headshot kills, melees, deaths, upgrades, abilities used, fire accuracy, pickup count, which is all of your resources and stuff. Revives, how many times you revived your teammate. And there's usually 4 people to a squad. And yeah, pretty easy. Dojo for a clan. Made my own little dojo. Pretty neat. Oh, I gotta show you something. So end game is usually like fashion frame. Where is? She's pretty neat. Uh, this guy's pretty neat. Doo, doo, doo. Where's my activity? Ah, there we go. Best frame in the game right there. Here's another one. Uriel. Just a demon. This guy's pretty cool looking. Yeah, man. That's Warframe. Different missions. I think I talked about that. Capture. You just go capture the target. You kill them. Capture them. Go straight to extract. Mobile defense. You gotta uh, pick up this little node. Go to a defense objective and you protect it for a minute and a half. And then you go to another one, protect that one for a minute and a half, and there's three of them. Survival. Each wave is 10 minutes, or each round is 5 minutes. And then you can extract. You get rewards after each round, and it's called endless mission. So with survival, you can stay in for 24 hours if you wanted to. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think the highest anybody ever got up to was like 76 hours or something like that in one survival mission. Defense, that's what I just did. Every round is three waves, which is pretty neat. And then you can definitely tell steel path from regular node. Interception, there's four objectives and you gotta protect it. Exterminate, you just go around killing enemies. Defense, mobile defense, well, rescue. Basically, you gotta rescue somebody. That's pretty much it. A bunch of different planets, different bosses, different play modes, just a whole bunch of stuff. That's how you crack open your relics for your prime weapons and warframes, invasions, and then we'll go to show you different warframes in action. So you already seen Noko. That's my new favorite frame. I've been playing the hell out of him. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and stimulate. So they won't attack because I got it to not attack. But basically, I'm burning them, and then I can burn them even more. Well, let me go ahead and take my fucking pet off. Okay, so that would be Uriel. She's pretty cool. Uh, Citrine is a beast. So, what she does, basically, her ability is preserving shell. So she has 85% damage reduction, and it increases every time you get a kill. And then it also increases 3% for assist, 6% for a kill. And the duration is 38 seconds. Prismatic gem is where she really shines though. So every time you pop the prismatic gem, every single damage that you do with any weapon will inflict fire, cold, electricity, and toxin for 2,140 damage every time you hit a target. So, that being said, So as you can see, I'm only doing like 17,000, 6,000, 15,000, 8,000, 7,000, 6,000, 11,000. So if I were to pop this in my prismatic gem, just completely annihilated that whole group of enemies. 27, 173,000. Oh, these guys are already dead. So she has some pretty cool abilities. She's really good. And then there's just a whole bunch of different. This is a really good nuke frame. Uh, she's basically electricity based. And then I used the level cap, which is level 9,999 with her. Because if you look in the top right corner, 14, 16, 18, that extra 60% uh, bonus damage, she does numbers in the millions. Keep going down. So Wisp is really, she's a support frame. She's pretty good. Most people like playing Wisp. So she has 3 motes. And basically each mote you get deals electricity status effects on nearby enemies, which if you deal electric damage, they're basically frozen. Not frozen, but they're basically just sitting there twitching and they don't move for a few seconds. Increase movement speed and attack speed. Increase maximum health and health regeneration. So you can basically get hit. My damn pet's killing them. So if I were to fall off the map, so you see how slow that fire is? Yeah, she can do some damage too, just with that one buff. Uh, Atlas Prime, you can summon some golems to fight for you. Caliban Prime, you can summon some Sentinels. Dante, you can buff the entire squad all game long. Ember Prime, she's just basically another nuke frame. Frost Prime, he's pretty good for defense missions because you literally pop a snow globe. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there we go. A little snow globe. You can fire through it, but enemies can't fire through it. And every time they walk inside the bubble, they get kicked out due to his augment, which is chilling globe, snow globe. Enemies that enter have a 50% chance to become frozen solid for 10 seconds, and it kind of pushes them out as well. He's pretty good. So each frame has their own little stuff that they do, and some warframes work better with other warframes. Some warframes don't work well together at all. So Mesa Prime, if I were to, oh, I gotta kill them all. So Mm-hmm. My little gunslinger. Doo-doo-doo. Cavero, he's kind of complicated to use. He's basically all melee. Who else? Next Prime is pretty good. Oberon Prime is pretty good. Octavia is one of the best frame in the game. She can do basically everything and not die. Saren Prime is another nuke frame. Temple is another nuke frame. That's a nuke. Volt is also a nuke. Wukong is a fucking master at disguise. Because one, his Cloud Walker ability, evaporate into a cloud of mist and float through the battlefield, dazing any enemies encountered while healing Wukong and his twin. So his twin basically gives him 4 times more health and boosts his damage by 3 times. And he uses your weapons. He fucking just split. So if you're using your primary, he's using melee. If you're using melee, he's using the primary. And then secondary, he still uses the melee. Mm. So if you switch to your secondary and then switch to melee, he'll use the secondary. And one good thing about him is he moves with you, and you can mark a target with that blue mark, and he will attack for almost triple the damage. hmm So, the Ignis Wraith is pretty cool. It's basically a flamethrower. You can't really see it because I got the color turned down. But this thing shoots from here to like that wall. And if you have a white energy on your weapon, it kind of blinds the entire map. That's how far the fucking flame goes. It gets really annoying when people have very bright colors on it. Da, da, da. What's another one? Another cool frame. Core's pretty good. She's a damn. How do you put that? Resource farm frame. So her augment. Enemies held in Stringledome have a 65% chance of dropping additional loot. And I still got to put a couple Forma in her. They literally just picks them up and it dangles them in the air. And then when you kill them, they have a chance to drop even more loot. Yeah. Different primaries, different secondaries, different melee. Kind of pretty cool. Kuva Nukor is like one of the best secondaries in the game. Uh, yeah, pretty. It's a pain in the ass, tell you that. Until you actually get used to it. Vara, she's mainly for spy missions. She can turn invisible and go through lasers without setting off all the alarms. Nidus, he's a pretty he's a pretty cool looking frame. He's the infested Warframe. Um, where's the enemies over here? And if you see that number over to the right going up, once you get to a certain amount, you get to pop his fourth ability, which gives massive amount of health. But then these little fucking infested bugs, where are they? Well, there's one. Basically stun them, and they won't move, and they won't come into this area. Almost fell off the edge of the map there. Yeah, there you go. That's Warframe.